Hey there, I'm John and welcome to Real Talk Walks. Today I want to talk to you about something that almost everyone has felt, even if they don't say it out loud: being left out. You know how it goes. You're scrolling through your phone, maybe it's Instagram or TikTok, or even just a group chat, and you see photos, stories, updates, people hanging out, laughing, making memories, and then it hits you. You weren't there. You didn't even know it was happening. That moment has big weight. Not a big dramatic moment, but more like a soft sting. Maybe you weren't invited to the party. Maybe the group text made plans without you. Maybe your friends went out and forgot to mention it. Maybe your name just wasn't on the list. And your brain goes there. Did I do something wrong? Am I not fun enough? Do they even like me? Why does this keep happening? Here's what makes it even harder. It brings up old feelings, rejection, childhood stuff, that time in school when everyone was paired up and you were left standing there. It's wild how fast that feeling can come back. Let me just say this. You are not alone in feeling this way. Some of the most confident, talented, beautiful, successful people I know have felt this way too. Some still do. Because being left out doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It doesn't mean you don't belong. And it doesn't mean you aren't worthy. It often has nothing to do with you at all. People get busy. People forget. People cluster in old patterns. Sometimes people are dealing with their own stuff and they're not thinking clearly. But here's the hard part. Even when it's not personal, it feels personal. Because when you care about people, their absence matters. Their silence matters. And that's valid. It's okay to feel that sting. It's okay to name that hurt. So what do you do with it? Here's something I've learned. You can either let that feeling shrink you, or you can let it shape you. You can make it mean something about your worth, or you can make it a reminder of how much you value connection, how much you deserve to be seen. And the truth is, this might be the perfect moment to go inward, not to isolate, but to reconnect with you. Let me tell you about Barbara Walters, one of the most respected journalists of all time. But when she first joined ABC as a co-anchor, her male colleagues made it crystal clear she wasn't welcome. They ignored her. She'd walk on set and people would literally act like she wasn't there. She once joked that she would talk about baseball just to get them to acknowledge her, not because she loved the sport, but because it was the only thing they talked about. Can you imagine? National spotlight, legendary career, and still feeling invisible. But she showed up over and over. She didn't force her way in. She stayed ready, prepared, calm, and eventually, people had no choice but to see her. Because real respect isn't demanded. It's earned by consistency. She didn't become someone else to belong. She leaned harder into who she was. And that's something I try to remember when I feel on the outside. I've had moments where I've walked into a situation and felt completely out of place. Everyone else had a flow. They had their inside jokes, their rhythm, and I was the new guy. I tried to jump in, be friendly, join conversations, but it felt forced. So I paused. I watched. I listened. I showed up where I could be useful. I didn't push. I didn't pretend. And slowly, things shifted. People opened up. Connections formed. But it happened because I stopped trying to belong to them and started belonging to me. And that's where I think real community starts. When you walk in your own lane long enough, the right people start walking beside you. So what can you do when you feel left out? First, name it. Say it to yourself. That hurt. I felt excluded. I felt unseen. That honesty is powerful. Next, ground yourself. Walk. Breathe. Do something that brings you back into your body. Because when you're spiraling in your head, movement helps. Then check the story you're telling yourself. Is it true they hate you? Is it true that no one likes you? Or is it possible they just didn't think? And then, this is important. Create something. Send a text. Plan a meetup. Or even just write something down. You can do a hobby. Build your own world instead of waiting to be invited into someone else's. And just remember this. Just because they didn't choose you doesn't mean you don't have value. Sometimes the most beautiful lives are built outside the circle. Sometimes the best friendships come from people who weren't even on your radar yet. And sometimes being left out is actually a redirection. One last thing I'll leave you with. There's someone right now who feels exactly like you do. Someone sitting with that same quiet ache. Maybe they need to hear from you. Maybe you reaching out to them is the start of something real. Or maybe, and this is just as powerful, maybe this is a moment for you to reach inward and say, I'm not invisible. I'm still here. I still matter. Because you do. You matter. Even when it doesn't feel like it. Especially when it doesn't feel like it. Thanks so much for walking with me. If this brought you any clarity or comfort, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you on the next walk.